Welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, the drinking show of the Gen X problem. In this episode, we're delivering on that promise. I am Laura Lavoie, and I'm here with Bill Perkins, who has opinions.
Hey there.
This is Bill.
Yeah.
That's this guy. So hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
How are things?
Things is okay. Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Things is okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, again, and I've probably said this 5 times this winter, but it could stop raining. I mean, it did today. It was a pleasant day today.
Today was delightful.
But you know, I'm like, I told my mom, I was like, if it doesn't stop raining, I'm gonna move to the damn desert. You know, like I'm just so over it.
Yeah, but then you're gonna be like a reptile and just like scaly, and
I know,
you're gonna be like, I need to move to where it's wetter.
I know. It's why I moved here in the first place, because I thought, you know, because when I lived in Charlotte, I was always tired of hearing about how, oh my God, we were in mandatory lockdown. You can't wash your car. Yeah, and I was like, fuck that. I'm moving to where the water is, you know. And then
Exactly.
And then I moved there, and after a couple of years, I was like, I'm tired of this rain. So
tired of this rain. Well, I didn't. Yeah, it rained a lot this weekend. We were supposed to get snow. Like one day we had a promise of like a winter storm warning.
Yeah.
And it was the most.
They warned the heck out of us.
Yeah, it was more warning than winter storm. And like you texted me, I don't remember what night it was.
It was Sunday.
It was Sunday night. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were
Saturday night. Because the Super Bowl was Sunday night. That was yesterday.
Okay.
It was Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night. You're right. Because they were promising early Sunday morning it was gonna start snowing.
We were gonna have the snow. And you said, is it snowing there? Is it just generally shitty? And I'm like, well, I was just outside moving the car and it wasn't even sprinkling. And then like as soon as I sent that message, it started pouring.
Yeah, that's what it was doing where I was. So that's why I asked. Because it was what I would consider generally shitty.
Yeah, it was generally shitty.
It was cold enough just to be very cold rain without, you know, the bit. And I'm like, if we're gonna have this much precipitation, shit, you might as well snow, right?
Right? No,
at least once.
I definitely feel.
I mean, you've had a dusting here. We haven't had jack shit at my house.
I could use a little more. Like we could have a good
like 3-incher, you know,
right?
And then. Okay, then that's good for the winter, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Just one and done.
If I'm going to get 3 inches of rain every day, do snow one day.
Right. Just shake it up a bit.
Yeah.
Rather, just do something a little different.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all.
Because cold rain is like the worst thing ever. Yeah. I hate fucking cold. Even worse than that is cold November rain. Although it doesn't last forever.
Right. That's what I hear. Yeah. That's what I hear. But that happens right before the long December.
Right.
So.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. So normally at this time of the show, we talk about beers that we have to drink.
Right.
But this show is about liquor.
Yeah.
So we're
not drinking beers.
We're not drinking beers
because that would make us ill.
So I'm glad you brought your wife with you in case you have to be carted home.
Well, she can't drive a stick. So.
Well, that's fair. So we can chill out for a while and eat some pizza. So
I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah.
So I have made us. So here's what I did. I'll give you the concept here.
Okay.
You have before you 3 glasses of drink.
All
right. So I used 3 different spirits.
Okay.
And I made classic old fashions.
Okay.
Partially because we're talking about the liquor itself, right? I didn't want to do shots because that just sounds terrible. Yeah. Or even like sips. I just didn't want to do that. So I wanted to have a little something. Because I think cocktails do like change the way a spirit works, you know,
yeah,
the way it
100%.
interacts.
There's things I won't drink by themselves, but I will have them in a cocktail.
Right. So I did a classic old fashioned, for anyone who doesn't know, is just basically the spirit, sugar, bitters. Oh, I forgot the orange. Oh, baby, if you're out there, can you bring me an orange and a peeler? I'll just do it right now. If you even heard me, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Or I could go get the orange and a peeler, but I forgot the orange. Anyway, long story short, is what I have for us is 3 different cocktails. Started with bourbon, which is a classic old fashioned, right? So I did Woodford Reserve, and we'll talk about that a little more. And then I did a rum old fashioned, which is another traditional cocktail. It's made with rum, and I did Appleton Estate. And then I was at a bar recently that does nothing but mezcal, and we had a mezcal old fashioned, and it was really, really cool. So I bought mezcal to do that.
All right.
And I don't normally like mezcal, but I was really fascinated by how much I liked it. So here, you talk about something. I'm going to go get the orange because I think it's important that we have the orange.
You want me to do, and I sorry, to be
Do
clear,
your monologue.
I'm going to do my monologue. It's about liquor. Is that what
Liquor is, yes.
Very well.
Liquor is the actual subject.
Liquor. I'm going to
All right.
talk about my, okay, very
And then
well.
I'm going to come in the middle, and I'm not going to know what you said, and then I'm going
You'll
to
have
just
to hear
act like I did.
You can hear it tomorrow when you watch the
It's true.
replay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Very well. So, gang, here's a funny story. When I was about 14 years old, I would go visit my dad, and he would have various, he was mostly a beer drinker, and I wasn't yet. I thought beer was disgusting because that's kind of an acquired taste. You have to drink a lot of it, which is, as a teenager, you're not going to manage. But liquor, so I would go into his house, and there was this big bottle of amaretto liqueur.
Oh, God.
That always sat on the top of his refrigerator. And being that it was the only liquor I had access to, I would pour myself a glass of it and drink it. And boy, did that give one the regrets. And it was good for this is I did finally sort out what the taste of yellow Triminic was supposed to be. It's supposed to be amaretto liqueur. Actually, all the different flavors of cough syrup are mimicking a liqueur.
That's true.
They're either orange liqueur, or they're amaretto, or they're like a cherry liqueur or something like that, or Aperol or some. But anyway, and those things. As
Pardon my reach.
Laura will point out, they're meant to be mixers. They're not really. You're not supposed to drink them straight.
Not
really.
typically, no.
Nobody's favorite drink is, hey, just give me a shot of amaretto liqueur. Anyway, yeah. So to this day, I probably wouldn't drink anything with amaretto liqueur in it at all. If I could smell it, I'd be like, ugh, no.
Can you set this on the coaster?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Because I made myself sick off that crap.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, that's my story about liquor. It's not my only story about liquor, but it's one of them.
Well, it's
my earliest story.
We can tell some more stories as we go, for sure.
That's my earliest story about liquor, though.
So, let's start doing a little sippy sip
All right,
of our first one.
Our first one. This is the standard.
The standard. I used Woodford Reserve, so I'll show you this, right?
Uh-huh.
I would hashtag
and is
Woodford Reserve.
Is that a Kentucky?
Yes, it's a Kentucky bourbon.
All right.
It's delicious. It's probably my favorite go-to bourbon. And I only made half pours, so it's not like the whole thing.
I'm glad you put the orange in there because that really gave it a.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, no, it is very important. I'm not. This isn't a drink I drink. So I'm not familiar with it, but
it's just a standard.
But I will say that, like, when I lifted it to my nose and smelled the orange, it made all the difference in the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, because I know what bourbon tastes like, and
right,
I like it. Okay,
this gives it a little more sweetness, and then it has the bitters in it too. So, not just straight up bourbon. Check out my delightful bourbon glasses.
She went all out with the glass picks.
I did.
So make note, people.
Yes, no, they're all for reasons too.
For reasons.
These are classic, old fashioned glasses, but they're designer. They're actually.
Would you say they're old fashioned glasses?
They are old fashioned glasses.
Very well.
But so I've been making a lot of old fashions lately. Because you can make them up with a bunch of different liquors, and then they're really easy. Do
you ever say, call me old-fashioned, but my favorite drink is an old-fashioned. Right?
So we have that. We'll get to the other ones. Normally we just do, tell you what our beers are and all that. Mm-hmm. So while you drink that real quick, don't drink it.
I'm not going to drink it real quick.
Don't drink it real quick.
I mean, we got a whole show to do.
Do not do that.
I shouldn't guzzle this stuff.
No,
I find myself wanting for a drink if I do that.
True. And all of these, I did do just half cocktails, so it's only an ounce of liquor each.
Okay.
The equivalent of that is 2 beers total, which is what we normally do on the show.
Sure.
So it's all.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
I usually pregame at least. Yeah,
we do
2.
several before.
So I'm using, and sometimes I make the mistake of throwing 1 6+ in there,
and you're like,
what? And then I'm like, what? But I know it on the nights when I don't do a high, when they're all 4, then I'm like, I barely got a buzz on tonight.
Yeah, yeah. But
anyway,
all right. So real quick, let's just
won't be a problem tonight.
Let's do this one because it's a place where you can get the liquors, right? So,
yeah, they'll sell you some. I mean, provided that you're of age.
Yes, 21 and over only. But go to the Purple Onion in Saluda, North Carolina, where you can get yourself some liquor. Yeah, and they make delightful cocktails.
They sure do. They'll mix up several different things together and call it a cocktail.
I mean, that is sort of what a cocktail is.
It's a thing they're known to do.
Which is, so to that end, well, there we go. We talked about somebody. To that end, as a bit of a monologue, right? So I was not a drinker like before I turned 21, and I still wasn't even really a drinker even after I turned 21. And for a while, it took me till my 30s to really do a lot of drinking.
Yeah.
But my 21st birthday, you know, my college roommates took Matt, everybody was there, took me out for drinks like you do.
Yeah.
It's not like I'd gotten into somebody's liquor cabinet when I was a kid. None of that happened. I was a good girl. But I didn't know. Like, we went to bars and they're like, order something.
What do you have?
And I'm
you're like,
I don't fucking know.
What's good?
What can you even make out of something?
Yeah.
So then I was drinking like, oh God, like the worst of the worst. Like asking for the sugariest cocktails or telling them I don't really drink liquor. So, what can you make me?
what did they give you?
The first drink I ever had in a bar was a fuzzy navel.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was either that or Sex on the Beach, right?
Yep. No, and I definitely had. I know I had Sex on the Beach. I don't know if it was that night, but I've had it since.
Did you have a blowjob?
I did not.
A cum shot?
No.
Any of those disgusting names?
No, and I didn't just have shots. Like everywhere we went, someone made us a drink. We went to a place called Bilbo's Underground, which was, as you might imagine, a Hobbit-themed bar.
Was it underground?
Yes.
Okay.
And they made me a purple haze. To this day, I have no idea what was in that. It was fucking purple.
Yeah.
But it just tasted like pure sugar.
It was probably grenadine and curacao, or however you say that.
Curacao, yeah. Yeah.
I imagine you put those two together, you get purple.
I imagine so. Right now here's the what? Yeah, no, yeah. Why are shot names so gross? That is fair. I guess because they want you to like have a reaction. Because
they're for college kids and or straight-laced women on a night out who are mildly titillated by the cuckoo names of the drinks.
I watch a lot of TV,
right,
and a lot of like reality television and stuff. And whenever they're like at a bar and they're like, "Let's do shots," and I'm like, "Who does shots? Like, are the people out there actually doing shots, or is this for the show?"
I have been when I used to go out with coworkers. A decade or more ago, this came up. Like, I remember going out with people and they'd be like, "Let's do shots." And I would be like, "Let's not," and they would want to do dumb stuff too. Like, "Hey, I see that, Jaeger bombs are half price tonight."
Oh,
I'm like,
God, yes.
Please no. Because Jaeger, it's so bad to me, like, that I get a hangover while I'm still drinking it. It's that bad. It's just terrible. I know I'm going to be sick. Like, do you start to feel sick while you have it like to your mouth?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this shit. Like, don't put this in your body.
Yes.
I don't know why people think that's a good idea.
Well, because it has gold in it. So they're like, "Look at me, I'm fancy. I'm drinking gold. Goldschlager."
I didn't say that. I said Jägermeister.
Oh, you did. I thought. Yes,
but Goldschlager.
I confuse them in my brain because they're both disgusting.
It's also disgusting. I want. You got anything that tastes like Big Red gum, but has little gold flakes in it, so I can poop gold?
That'll be great. You know what we would love? That.
Yeah, I want candy cinnamon and gold flakes.
Exactly.
Delicious.
So before we go too far off track,
I
do want to you finished your rum or your bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there. So then we'll move on to the others. But I did want to point out some things about.
Sure. Tell me some things.
What are some things about bourbon? What should you know about bourbon, right? So bourbon, scotch, and whiskey, right? Those always get kind of lumped together. What's important to know is that bourbon and scotch are both forms of whiskey.
They're all whiskey.
They're all whiskey.
And Irish also.
Well, no.
Irish is not a whiskey.
Oh, Irish is a whiskey, but it's just whiskey. Like, that's just whiskey.
But it's okay. So you either have Tennessee whiskey or Irish whiskey. Is that what you're telling me?
Most bourbon
or Canadian whiskey.
Kentucky, right? Exactly. But that's just straight up whiskey. But bourbon. So Kentucky and Tennessee whiskeys. Yeah, it gets complicated, but they're all whiskeys, and bourbon is produced in the United States and is mainly made from corn mash, while scotch is produced in Scotland and is typically made from malted grains. And then anything else can be a whiskey.
Okay.
Like there are Japanese whiskeys and Canadian whiskeys.
And moonshine is a type of whiskey too, really, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And okay, so and it's my understanding in the States. So I don't like Tennessee makes whiskey and Kentucky makes bourbon only, right? Like you're not allowed to do the other.
I think that is the case. I remember learning that when I went to the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky, that it is very, but I think, you know, some of the styles and the methods are the same.
Okay.
It's just you can't put the bourbon name on it.
Okay.
So
if you're in Tennessee.
Right. Or but anywhere else. If you're making it in.
But if you're in Kentucky, you can't make whiskey.
Well, you can make whiskey,
but you have to call it bourbon.
You don't. I mean, you don't because you're making bourbon.
You're making bourbon.
I don't think
bourbon's just a smooth whiskey, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's illegal to make whiskey in Kentucky, but
okay.
But you can. But why would you? Because you're in Kentucky and you can make.
Also,
bourbon.
Here's a fun fact. I noticed this last time I drove through Kentucky. You can buy fucking bourbon at the drugstore in Kentucky. Like everywhere you go, you walk into a store and there's a shelf that sells bourbon.
Yeah.
In whatever store you're in, it doesn't matter. Like it can be, you can be, I don't know, fucking Dollar General or something probably sells bourbon in Kentucky.
Well, it's just crazy as Kentucky liquor laws, which means you can literally buy liquor everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas so in North Carolina, for instance, and a few other states where it's highly regulated.
Sure.
Right. We can only buy any liquor at an ABC store
owned by the state.
So the prices are always the same. Everything's like, it doesn't matter.
The fix is in, yeah.
Yeah, there's
and they have a
specials.
limited selection also,
Yes.
which is terrible, which is why thankfully I live 10 miles from South Carolina, which has private liquor stores.
Yes.
Where they have a variety, and if they don't have it, you can probably ask for it and they'll get it for you.
Right.
You know?
So yeah, we've made the liquor run with you because it's not that, it's really close to you, and
it's crazy close.
Yeah, like I went to an ABC store to get these. The mezcal selection was very small.
Yeah.
The bourbon, you can actually get a fair amount of bourbon.
They do,
like all the big names.
They carry big bourbon and rum,
but rum not really.
Not the rums you want. Yeah.
Not the rums I want. You can get some rums, but not like I'm
right,
into tiki. I like good rums.
You can get Myers, but you can't get all the different varieties of plantation.
Right.
And
exactly.
You can't get Pussers.
They do have Pussers.
They do have
just Pussers.
Okay.
Yes, I almost got that, but I went with the Appleton Estate, which is a good rum.
All right.
Speaking of, we're about to move on to our rum old fashioned.
Yeah.
So I have an Appleton Estate here, Appleton Estate Signature. It's a decent aged rum.
Sure.
Pretty good.
Go ahead and tell us about rum before we even begin.
All right, before we even begin, rum is where I'm at right now. So I like rum.
Yeah.
So it's made by fermenting and then distilling sugarcane, molasses, or sugarcane juice. So if you use anything from a sugarcane, no matter how you prepare
some kind of sugar,
it's a rum. But sugarcane, like you can't
Here's
use
the
other
thing.
types of sugar.
Wouldn't this be fun? What if Canadians started making maple rum?
It wouldn't be rum.
It wouldn't be rum, but it'd be very similar.
Yes. And I'd drink the shit out of it.
Or if people in the Southwest started making agave rum, which wouldn't be rum, but it would be similar.
Yes, but it would also be mezcal. So.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, it would be mezcal. You're right. Right. Okay.
All right. So
I was just thinking of all the various different sweeteners that you could change out for.
You could. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can make liquor out of anything if you try hard enough.
If you got all you need is what some sort of carbs, really, right?
Yeah, something for
carbs
the yeast
and some yeast,
and then distill it. So that's a whole process.
Bam, you got a thing
in and of itself. But so rum is usually a clear liquid. It comes out clear, and then it's aged in barrels. However, that doesn't necessarily, like, the brown liquor rule.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily apply to rum.
Okay, so you're saying all rum, it should be hangover free?
No, most rum should be hangover full.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you.
It doesn't apply in that way,
right?
Okay, so it's not vodka, is what you're saying.
Correct. So white rum, for instance, white or silver rum or light rum, so that's totally clear, is just named for its lack of color, but it's actually aged and then the color is removed.
At least run it through a filter. Or
Yeah,
something,
basically with charcoal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then dark rum is aged longer. Gold rum is a little smoother and sweeter. Navy rum is overproof, but different from overproof rum. And rum agricole, rum agricole might be a little less hangover inducing. It's made from sugarcane instead of molasses. So it has a different thing. And then premium aged rums, which are very complex, single vintage rums, and spiced and flavored rums.
Okay.
Are the kinds of rums. But most rums are aged. Like there's a couple, like you can get pure cane juice rum that will have a different body to the other types of rum, and it might have less hangover inducing, but
sure,
it's not really. You can't really use the white, the clear versus brown.
So
when evaluating,
but they don't make a saccharin rum for diabetics.
They do not.
Okay.
It is sugary as fuck.
Yeah,
so
if you're diabetic, you shouldn't drink it.
Do not drink rum.
Shouldn't drink anything.
That's true.
Your body won't process those sugars correctly.
That's true. All right. So
that was a joke. Sorry, at your expense, diabetics.
This smells really good, but I'm really into rum right now. So
I'm also a big rum fan, actually. I mean, mostly I'm a beer fan, okay? But when I drink, my liquor of choice is usually rum. I like rum. I like pina coladas.
And getting caught in the rain?
No, I hate getting caught in the rain. Fuck that. No. I do not like that. I just like pina coladas.
All right, that's fair.
And I'm into some health food.
But
I'm not into yoga. So some of those things, like, you know what? Those things are like, we'd have to go through that whole song, and I could say yes, no.
That's its own episode,
it's its own
I
thing.
think.
One day we'll do that. We'll just do the Pina Colada song. How do you feel about it? Okay.
So look at the glass I picked for the rum. I did that on purpose.
Yeah, you got a really cute tiki style highball glass.
Big fan of that.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Also,
and the glass makes a difference.
I gotta tell you, also, she's got the fancy ice cubes, the big ice cubes.
The big ice cubes. You can probably see this one.
There you go. Yeah.
There. Yeah.
The big. So that's also the presentation here. You got to know. Laura went all out. She made a good cocktail. But yeah. So I like rum, and I usually drink the clear rum because I guess I mistakenly believed that it made a difference hangover wise or something, but
Oh, yeah, we're getting there, folks. We are funnier when you're drinking, but we are definitely funnier when we're drinking.
At least we think so.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it? Oh, damn, that's
good. See, so that's why I did old fashioned.
Which is why I say rum is my drink because, and I will say in college, I actually went, and I was like you, I didn't drink a lot. I would drink on occasions, and when I would drink, I would usually drink. I started off doing Jack and Coke, and then I moved to Jim Beam and Coke when I realized that bourbon was like smooth with it made that drink better.
Right.
But again, both of those are bottom shelf.
Right.
Honestly, they're the most popular brands from those states, but they're not the best per se. They're what I was exposed to. So yeah, whatever.
Sure.
I was initially buying Jack Daniels, and then I switched to Jim Beam as I realized that bourbon was preferable to whiskey for me.
And comparatively, right? So we just had the bourbon old fashioned. It still had that sharpness. It was smooth, but it was sharp.
Whereas you caught me coughing when I first took a sip.
But this is just
smooth. And I'm a person. I don't know about you, but I was saying I like pina coladas. But the other thing I do, I put rum in my eggnog.
Yeah.
What do you put in your eggnog?
Well, all of it. But rum,
all of it?
Rum, not at the same time. No, rum.
I just go crazy.
Rum or bourbon is what I'll put in, just depending on what I have.
It's like I'm making that PJ that we used to make in college, except for I'm making.
Exactly.
But no, I'm a strictly. I put rum in my eggnog, and so because I think it's just rum's. It's easy to drink, and that rum and Coca-Cola. Now that I think about it, that's a thing people used to drink.
Yeah, rum and Coke for sure.
Yeah. Is that a Cuba Libre or is that some?
No, that's something I think a little. I don't know for sure. Actually, you have to Google that. Heather, Google a Cuba Libre.
I think I want to say that's Coke and something. I want to say rum because it's from the islands, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. It's exactly. But yeah,
it might be a little dash of lime. Also, it's like Coke and lime and I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, this is just I do like rum, and this is super fantastic.
Yeah. This is what I've been making lately because it when I don't want to get out all the gear to make a tiki drink, and all the
I feel
ingredients.
yeah, because tiki drinks are
They're
complicated.
very complicated, but this is just
It's
3
less
ingredients.
complicated and it tastes good.
4 ingredients with the orange.
This one is very sweet rum, like it's very sugar forward. And I think all of them are sweet, but this one's like it almost tastes like you almost have like a sugar rim on the glass. It's so sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I think because it has whereas the rum itself is sugary because it's sugar forward. Then it enhances or brings forward the simple syrup that I use to make too. So,
that's fair.
Whereas this with this
cancels
one,
it out.
Yeah, kind of canceled it out.
Yeah, because you got that edge that takes it. Yeah.
Well, and so the third one, when we get to it, that's going to be kind of the wild card here because that's mezcal. So we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah,
sure.
This is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Just have to say you're not here, and Heather, I don't know what you put. Oh, it's cheers. Oh, we didn't cheers.
Cheers. Very well. Cheers to you, Heather.
Cheers to you. Thank you, Heather. We love you. Heather's coming. Well, yeah, that's another story. That's a different story for a different time.
Okay.
Too much. I didn't feel like I drank too much, and it didn't take long.
It caught up to you.
It did, because I had 1 beer before the show, and then I had the bourbon, and now I'm halfway through a rum drink.
I'm done with the rum drink.
Almost
Let's move on. Let's get a move on here. Let's get to the next thing.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about tequila and mezcal.
Okay, let's.
So let me get those notes out here. I have orange juice on my notes now because I peeled that orange here. Okay, mezcal is just as complex as rum. Really? So when I was doing all the research for it, it was a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So tequila is a type of mezcal. So it's like champagne, right? You have sparkling wine that can be made anywhere in the world.
It's more like the whiskey and bourbon thing, isn't it?
Well, not really, because it's not even like bourbon can be made in Kentucky, the whole state of Kentucky. I guess it is. So
it's a regional. It's a regional type.
It is a region. It's like champagne. I mean, champagne's the same way, right?
Yeah, okay.
So you can get sparkling wine anywhere in the world, but it's only champagne if it comes from the Champagne region of France.
Right. And tequila, there's a law that it's only tequila if it comes from Jalisco, which is a county in
Mexico. But also it has to be prepared a very specific way.
Sure.
So it is mezcal, but it's made differently from other mezcals.
Okay.
So this is
But you could make it the same way in other parts of Mexico, and it would still just be some kind of fancy mezcal.
Correct.
Because unless it's from Jalisco, it's not tequila.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So mezcal is defined as any agave-based spirit. So it's made with an agave plant. Any type of agave plant. There's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
the other thing with the Jalisco tequila is that they only use the blue.
Yes, the blue agave.
Right.
So that's made all over Mexico, right? Mezcal is made everywhere. You can make it anywhere. And then, but tequila has to be made from blue agave. And mezcal can be made from a wide variety of agave.
Uh-huh.
And agave is like a cactus or like an aloe, but it's not really either of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we had some agave plants out in front of the spot, but the winter has not been kind to them.
No, all right.
We have to replace them.
I mean, they are a not even tropical region is Mexico, and part of it.
They will grow in South Carolina. Actually, there was in my hometown. There was a guy who had an agave plant. There's a plant called the century plant, which is a type of agave. It grows huge. It's like fucking Audrey 2 sized. You know?
We saw those in South Africa, huge agave.
Yeah, and so it's called a century plant because it actually blooms like once every. It's actually like 30 years or so. It'll shoot a stalk up and have a flower, but I guess most people don't remember it, so they think it's a century. Anyway,
right?
That's an aside that has nothing to.
That has nothing to do with it. Well, it kind of does.
It has a little to do with it. So I'm just saying they grow fine in South Carolina. South Carolina is region 7. Is that right? Or 8? No, South Carolina is 8, and we're in 7.
Yes,
and it makes all the difference in the world about what you can plant here and there.
Yes. All right, so can you hand me the mezcal?
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about the one in particular.
Shh, be quiet about this, folks, because it is illegal. She's not even supposed to have this.
Not even.
You can't get this here.
Except you can at the
can.
ABC store where
It's
I got
true.
it.
You can.
So fun fact, mezcal and tequila is always like, this is unaged, which normally you make an old fashioned out of aged spirits, but this is unaged. But
yeah, because it's like so. Does mezcal come in the three kinds like tequila does? Okay.
Yep. So you have blanco or silver tequila or mezcal, which is aged 0 to 2 months. Then you have reposado, which is 2 to 12 months. And that's true in either of them. And then you have añejo, which is 1 to 3 years for tequila, but añejo is 1 year minimum. So it can also, for mezcal, it's 1 year minimum. So you can age it for 15 years if you want.
I mean, or like once you buy it and sit in your house, it'll. Well, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. You've got the better glass.
Do I?
Yeah, because so these glasses.
Look at this.
These are actually heirloom glasses. They were my grandmother's. Cute little low balls, but they're actually called the Persian Polo Player, which has nothing to do with tequila. But I used the bourbon glasses for the bourbon and the rum glasses for the rum, and I didn't have anything else.
Yeah,
this is what I had. But these are the real deal.
I was gonna think I thought it was Don Quixote until I realized he was wearing a turban.
Right.
And then I was like,
well, they're from the 50s and they're called Persian Polo Players, which who the fuck knew what? Like, nobody knew what that meant at the time. It was the 1950s.
No, but they do have a polo stick.
They do have a polo stick.
They're not tilting windmills is what.
Correct.
I thought initially I saw a dude on a horse holding something. I was like, hey, it's Don Quixote.
But I love these glasses, and I've looked them up on eBay, and they go for a pretty penny.
And now here's the thing about mezcals generally, but probably not 100%, but they tend to be very smoky and flavor.
Yes.
And it's because of the way they're made, because what they do is they cut the heart of the agave out, right? They cut all the fucking leaves off.
Yeah.
And they just keep the middle, the big bulky middle part, and they put it in these it's almost like a pizza oven.
Yeah,
it's like a big wood fired pizza oven.
Yeah, just to roast the shit out of them.
And they get
over real fire. Like, you can't just put one in your electric oven,
right?
And expect
probably smoke it over mesquite or something.
Whatever.
That's the one. Well, for the particularly smoky ones, it's probably mesquite.
Whereas tequila is steamed, so that makes it a little less smoky. It makes it not smoky. So, all right. So this is going to be very different from the other two.
Yeah, it will.
Right, but I got very good recommendation for this.
For this mezcal?
Yeah. It's good.
And this is the first drink you made from it, because I can see it's mostly full.
Brand new, yep.
Wow.
It's very different from the other two. I do not hate it.
I don't hate it either. Emily would hate it because it's very smoky. She does not care for smoky things.
Right, but it's very complex. I mean, but
it is very smoky. I'm going to say this is smoke forward is what I would say.
It is smoke forward, but then you also get some like caramelly and apple apple notes in it, vanilla notes. Like, it's very complex, much more complex than even the bourbon, which is just sort of bourbon it's complex in its own way, but it's not complex in that it has a lot of other flavors. It just tastes like bourbon.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, it's interesting.
I will say, so after rum, not mezcal, but tequila is my second favorite spirit after rum, since I'm mostly a beer drinker. But when I'm on diets, I tend to get myself a big jug of white tequila,
right?
And I go crazy mixing that with soda water and calling it because I'm like, I have to drink tonight, but I don't want a beer, because beers are all carbs, and
right.
That's my thing. That's my go-to when I'm dieting. Actually, probably going to start sometime soon with that. I need to. It's been winter time.
Dieting is over.
I'll do it when the sun comes out. I'll tell you that. Like, it won't be till then, because right now I'm sort of stress eating.
Well, you're
comfort eating.
You're like a bear. You're building up your reserves.
I had French fries with chili on top last night for supper. Because I was just like, it's cold and wet, and I don't. That's what I want.
Well, as it turns out, last night was the Super Bowl, so that kind of
that was part of it. Actually, it was because I did not watch the Super Bowl. And I hope you had a good one. If you did watch, I'm not dissing.
Well,
I'm not yucking anybody's yum.
Right.
It's not important in my household. But I do miss Super Bowl parties.
Right.
So I always on that night, I'm aware other people are eating like the fattiest and most appetizery of foods.
Right.
And I'm like, I went to the store about 3 or 4 things of like junk food that I was just like, I'm gonna have this or this or this or maybe all 3. Who knows?
Right.
Like we'll see.
Whatever.
Because I was also sometime this week I'm making a buffalo chicken dip just to eat.
I love buffalo.
I'm gonna have it for a fucking meal.
Yeah.
Because
I
didn't get invited to a Super Bowl party, and so that's always like
BT Dubs for next year. You're always invited because we do Super Bowl, if not here at next door at Ricky's.
All right.
You're always invited.
Well, next time we'll come.
And if you can't, can't drive home, you can stay here.
I'll bring a fatty fucking rich food.
Yes. Yes.
If I come.
All right.
But anyways, that's not here to there. I'm just saying tequila, a diet drink.
So this is one of the reasons I left this one for last is actually to let it get diluted by the ice a little more because tequila, the mezcal is such a strong flavor.
It is.
I
will say, and also it mellows out the more of it you drink.
It does.
I don't taste the smoke as much as I go. Which
is not unlike we've had this conversation a lot. Like beer.
Oh yeah, the same thing. Like
IPAs,
whatever the big, actually not just IPAs, anything like whatever the forward flavor is on beer.
It mellows.
It kind of like first sip or two, you're like, oh my god, and then as you go, you're like, yeah, it's growing on me.
This is good. I'm not going to chug this by any means, but
it does have that. I will say that's the thing about both bourbons and whiskeys and mezcals is they will slow your ass down a little.
Right.
Because they're not the kind of flavors where you like rum. You can just you can put a straw in rum and go. Yeah. I drank the rum drink. Can you get me another one?
Exactly.
Because rum, I mean, it's fucking sugar water. I mean, like it's freaking delicious.
Right. And I get we like the tiki, right?
Also.
Those are all.
I don't know if you find this is true, but I do. The more sugary a thing is, it seems like the quicker the alcohol gets into your system, kind of, because your body sort of loves sugars, right? And it's sort of
So were that true? But I have scientific evidence.
Oh, it's not really true. It's just a thing I think.
It's not true at all. Okay. Yeah, it's most of our reactions to alcohol are things we think.
Okay.
So.
Because I always felt like meads hit me quicker than regular wines too,
right? But it is all in your head.
Okay. That's where I'm feeling loopy.
Well, that's true. Here's the science of drinking, right? So once you start consuming alcohol, your liver begins breaking it down. Like as soon as you start, an enzyme called alcohol dihydrogenase. I'm not a scientist. Is responsible for breaking down the alcohol to acetaldehyde, and then it's further broken down to acetic acid. So that's the science behind it. So getting drunk occurs when you consume alcohol faster than you can break it down. So it doesn't matter what kind. It doesn't matter at all what kind, because it's just about it's just a timing thing. Yeah, exactly. Which is what so this is the thing, because I don't you've been around me when I've done this, right? Like we'll go to a pizza joint and I'll order my beer, and if my pizza comes before my beer, I get upset because I am trying to get a buzz on, and if you bring me my food before I get my buzz, I'm put out. Right? And so it's about consuming the entire beer prior to having any food. Right. Because it allows me to get drunk, as you say. We're not really drunk because on one beer it's just a buzz, but you know what I'm saying? Like I want to feel the buzz. Right. As I keep drinking this, it's growing on me. It really does. I kind of love it. The first sip, I was like, "Woo, boy, I don't like this as much as the rum drink." But as I go, like it really is. Like it's pretty good. Like I see why that is really good mezcal, and this is And I don't know. Do you feel like the little piece of orange peel has gotten more infused in it as you went to? Like I don't know. Oh yeah, no, it does, because if you noticed, I squeezed it a little bit, and that gets some of the oils in there, so it does. Yeah. I'm digging it. Yeah, I actually like it more than I thought I would. I wasn't sure this was going to be my favorite.
I wasn't sure either because, like I said, I know I like tequila, but mezcal tends to be smokier flavored.
Right.
Which this one was terribly smoky at the beginning.
At the very beginning, but it really mellowed.
It really did.
I have almost no ice left in mine either.
Now it's almost tasting as sweet as the rum.
Exactly.
Towards the end.
And it's not like you just got to the sugar because I mixed them. I didn't shake it. They weren't shakeable drinks, but also my ice is almost entirely gone from this one.
That's true. This one sat longer than the others. The other two. It
did. It also had I had a round ice cube instead of the square ones because those are the ice cube makers we have.
Yeah.
So they were smaller.
But it was very good. So, all right. We have a lot of other liquors to cover, though, before we can close out.
But, that's true. Actually, let's get to this other thing after. So we have two more liquors in particular.
Okay.
We are not going to get to liqueurs.
Okay.
I guarantee that because this time
I was confused because I felt like at one point you told me this show was about liqueurs and not about liquors.
No, just liquors. Also we can talk all about liqueurs, but the only real difference is that they're less alcohol, so they're usually used as mixers, right? Which you also brought up.
And they're more of a flavor.
Yeah, they're a flavor.
Yeah.
And
then you also have aperitifs. Which are like a liqueur.
Aperitifs?
Is that what they? Aperitifs.
Aperitifs.
Okay.
Yes.
Which are like an after dinner drink. It's supposed to help. They used to think it helped you digest your food.
Yes.
But that's bullshit. Like, there's no way fucking drinking liquor is going to help you digest. Like, you're going to get the shits tomorrow.
It's fine.
If that's what they mean by digest your food, like, you're going to have the raving shits tomorrow morning.
All right, so I said at the start of the show we weren't doing shots, but
we are.
We are. Well, we're not. We're just going to do. I'm literally going to pour a drop. So we have a taste.
A sip.
Yeah. So we didn't talk about gin. This is the only gin I have on hand, which
Highway
is actually
9, which is from down the street.
It's
here.
local. It's totally local. So let me just give you a splash.
I have not been to their distillery yet, but I did go to their little. They used to have. I don't know if they still do, but they had a little. A shop over in the Grove Arcade for a minute.
Across the street from the Grove Arcade.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good.
I didn't know. COVID did a number on a lot of things.
So they do. And we went there fairly recently. That's actually, I got this directly from that store.
Yes.
Which is crazy that you can do that when it's,
not
an alcohol board of control.
Can you buy Botanist at
by the next door to the Antidote? I don't know, to be honest. But they did have it at the ABC store.
Okay. Yeah, I know you can get it at ABC store. I'm just asking if you could buy it. Like, I didn't know.
But I have these little, they're actually whiskey tasters from when I went, or bourbon tasters from when I went on bourbon.
Whiskey?
That's true.
Three Boys Distillery, whiskey.
Yeah, but they made bourbon. I know they did because we were, that's in Lexington, Kentucky.
Weird.
Yeah, they just decided to go whiskey. But anyway, so this is gin. All right, so
we're drinking gin.
Which I did not make into
my least favorite spirit, by the way.
I've had a love hate relationship with gin. So
yes,
but what I'm going to say is gin is a distilled spirit made from grain but flavored with botanicals.
Yes.
So sometimes the flavoring makes all the difference.
That's true.
Makes all the difference. Most noted for its piney flavor due to the main ingredient, which is juniper berry.
Yes.
So almost all gins use juniper.
That's true.
But then they'll also use other things.
So here's the thing.
You can smell the pininess.
Yes.
It smells like
I wish I hadn't. Because here's the thing with me and gin is I've puked gin.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to.
It's because of the O10.
Oh my fucking God! Right. So we've talked about this before. The big Christmas party we go to every year, right? Yes. And they have the bar, just
an open liquor bar,
not just open bar like there's a bartender. It's
make your own drink.
A shit ton of liquor.
Here's some liquor. Here's some shit. Make a thing.
And none of it makes sense. Like they have recipes, but by the time you get there, like
everything's gone.
So it doesn't
matter. Like, So we were like, fuck it, whatever. We were mixing like cranberry juice.
No, we specifically decided, we're like, what are the flavors of Christmas?
Cranberry juice, peppermint schnapps.
And gin. Because gin was, oh my God. Yeah, no, we got a little, both of us. You got more than me.
I got shit-faced on it.
All right.
Because you probably took a sip and was like, this is terrible. And
I drank it. No, by the end of that night, I was doing nothing but mixing heavy cream and peppermint schnapps.
Okay, well that's
So how
actually safer because
but how didn't I puke on heavy cream?
But I mean, I don't know. But schnapps are like only like 45%, right?
True, that
so
probably
that's probably
saved me.
yeah, exactly. Because they're not like a real schnapps is not like a real liquor. You know, it's like a light liquor.
Yeah, that's true. It's a liqueur, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So once you switch to that, you were probably like, yeah, I'm off the real stuff. But me, I had that, and I remember puking from it.
Oh, well, you had to stop the Uber a couple of times.
I did. I stopped an Uber on the side of 240, and I puked on my shoes.
Also, mind you, if you try to mix peppermint schnapps, cranberry juice, and gin, don't do it. It's bad.
That's that was the difference between the O Tannenbaum by the Tannenbaum and the O Tan.
Yeah.
Because we had both. We had a drink called the Tannenbaum, which I think was just cranberry and gin.
Oh, we were making it up as we went along.
And then we had the O Tannenbaum, which was peppermint schnapps.
Yeah, add a little peppermint schnapps. Yeah, I drank a couple this past year because we were drinking rum, and then we were like, we're only drinking rum, and then we get to the party and there's no rum
to be had,
and we're like, all right,
next year we should just show up with a bottle of rum.
We're actually gonna 100%.
Fuck it, like we're
and
bringing
then you
rum.
know what's gonna happen? That's the only thing that's gonna be on the bar. That's all. That's
You're gonna
all
get there, and it's gonna be like 17 rums.
And that's it. Okay, so this one is local, Highway 9 from Cultivated Cocktails up the road, but it says it notes of orange, hibiscus, and mint, which I don't
taste nothing but. Oh wait, okay. Yes, I initially tasted the juniper berry, which I don't care. That's the part.
Oh, I get. Yeah, no, I see.
But after like on the way out, I was like, nope. There's orange. Yes.
Yep, I get the orange. I get the orange straight away.
I don't know about hibiscus. Hibiscus is like if you put anything overpowering, you can taste hibiscus.
Yeah. Do you taste flour? Does it taste vaguely of flour? I get the mint too.
Do you?
The mint creeps up at the end. My palate's
it's almost its own. It's a Tannenbaum by itself.
It is almost a no Tannenbaum. Yes. Oh yeah. The bourbon is yummy, Heather. I left that up there for a while.
So I'm not a fan of gin since that incident, by the way. I don't like, and it used to be I don't know if it still is, probably not.
I only gave you the
used to be my wife's favorite spirit.
Yes.
She's kind of grown out of it a little bit. I think she's moving more towards tequila now. And away from, like she's kind of ginned out. Like she's had all the gins, especially all the botanical gins, and she loved them for a while, and then she like had enough, and like
I had a gin phase.
Yes, everybody does, I guess.
But it didn't last too long, and I prefer gin.
Was it a
cold cocktail? What was it cold?
A slow gin phase.
A slow gin phase. It was.
Sorry,
it was actually a fast gin phase. But I only liked them in cocktails. Like I would not sit and I wouldn't do that. That was a taste.
Yeah.
And I did only pour a taste, to be fair. All right. Speaking of a taste, the last spirit we're gonna really talk about today. Okay.
Tito's.
So I got Tito's
vodka.
I actually got this tiny.
That's if you're watching Yellowstone, that's Beth Dutton's favorite spirit.
Oops.
I think they must have some sort of deal because they make it a point to show the bottle
before
she pours it. You know,
they must. I do want to say the reason I have this tiny bottle of vodka is right before the pandemic happened, like literally the week before everything shut down. I'll give you yours real quick.
Okay.
You don't have to taste it yet if you don't want to. I'll tell the story real quick.
Sure.
But we went to Charleston with our friend Sarah, and we stayed at an Airbnb, and they had on the counter a little 6-pack of these tiny bottles of
isn't that
vodka.
Cute?
Right. And we're like, okay, this is for our it was clearly for our consumption. They weren't for decoration, right?
And it didn't say it was going to charge you $8.
Correct. Yeah, none of that. So at the end of that trip, and we did not drink any of the vodka, we just took it. like I might take a jar of jam from a hotel. Exactly. So we just took the entire little 6-pack of tiny
It's funny
vodkas.
that it was in Charleston and they had Tito's instead of Firefly, which is a local,
right?
That's the one that makes the iced tea vodka. If you're not familiar,
So these glasses, these are little tasters from a Barrel House Distilling Company in Lexington,
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
So we're supposed to be drinking bourbon out of these, but we're not.
No, this is vodka. So here's the interesting. This is the last. It smells like is nothing. It smells like
rubbing alcohol.
Nothing.
If it was going to smell like a thing, that's what it would be.
Yeah, rubbing alcohol. But you have to dig deep to get it. Like you have to do a deep breathe.
You really do have to. You really have to like really breathe the shit out of it to smell even the alcohol smell. But.
And I get why people like vodka as their go-to because it tastes like nothing, and it'll fuck you up. It'll fuck you up, and all you'll taste is the thing you made.
Yeah, you mix it in a thing. That's the thing. You pour the Tito's into whatever Kool-Aid or whatever the nonsense you want to drink, and
vodka is my least favorite spirit, and I think it's because the reason I drink, like I don't drink to get drunk, folks. It may seem that way, but I don't. I drink because I genuinely like the complexity and taste of the thing.
I like both. I want to taste it, but I also want to get the buzz, which is what I like my beers, but I like beers I like the taste of,
Sure.
Which is why when I go to a party and all they've got is IPA, I'm like, like I know I'm going to get drunk, but I'm not going to enjoy getting, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to enjoy the flavor before I get drunk, but I always say this. I say like if it's 9% or something, I won't care in a minute,
Exactly.
Exactly. I like all they got's IPA. I'll be over it in a minute, but in the meantime, I'm not gonna enjoy it. Whereas there are times like when I'm drinking a Kolsch, I'm like I'm actually loving it before I get drunk. I'm like, this is fucking delicious.
Right.
So I'm with you. Like vodka is nobody's favorite tasting drink because it doesn't have a flavor.
I imagine that there are vodkas that do. We like Tito's is actually a really good vodka.
It is a good vodka, and I mean it's a top.
It's a medium shelf, middle shelf.
Yeah, but it's high priced.
Yeah, for sure. This is why we took them. Sorry, Airbnb. I mean, they didn't.
They didn't say not to take it.
Yeah, they didn't say not to take it. Did I just write it myself?
But anyway, I get you. Like it's good for things.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good drink if you want to make a thing like I mean, when Emily just wants a drink that we go to a bar and she can't decide what to order, she'll just say, "Give me an orange juice and vodka."
Right, because you're going to taste the vodka the orange juice and get drunk.
Yes, exactly. She's just like, I'm just gonna have a drunken orange juice, essentially, and
exactly.
So yeah,
exactly. So I want to point out. So we had this conversation about the dark versus light rum.
Yeah,
and how this. So I looked it up because, I told you've told me before, like I had to drink dark rum and it, I didn't like it, and I'm like, well, the dark rum, it doesn't matter. Like you drink and as it turns out,
I used to always buy the white Bacardi rum to mix in my
as it turns out that is just as aged, but but it does. So what I learned was the key is the darker the alcohol, like it doesn't matter, like this can be wine, this can be whatever, except for beer is the only exception. The darker the alcohol, not the drunker you get. It has nothing to do with being drunk because again, the science is you only get as drunk
as you can handle,
as you could like,
and also your liver will process to a point, and then you will stop, and then we'll start processing again, which is how you'll like wake up on Saturday morning and still be.
That's a story. I got to get to that story.
Okay, but, because your liver will just keep
just keep doing it,
and you'll be drunk on Saturday morning because. And you'll be like, oh shit, I don't even have a hangover yet.
Exactly.
Because you're still fucking drunk.
Exactly.
And it's not until 3:00 in the afternoon on Saturday. You'll be like, oh, now I feel like shit. Like
Exactly. So, but darker alcohol, like red wine, scotch, whiskey, and bourbon, has a higher level of what's called conjoiners. And they're more likely to cause hangovers the following day. Conjoiners are just they're the impurities, I guess, is the best way to in red wine, it's tannins, and in these different things, it's different things.
Red wine, man, I'm telling you what, I don't even fuck with that shit anymore because I felt so bad. I actually got a fever from drinking red wine one time.
God.
I think I was drinking more than. I think I started off drinking something else, and then I drank red wine afterwards, and I just felt lousy.
That's another issue.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't even like if people come at me with red wine now. I'm just like, step off, fool. I ain't bothering.
So clear liquors like gin and vodka are less likely to have these compounds, and less likely to cause hangovers. But that's the thing: your drunkenness is not connected to the hangover.
Yeah,
like how drunk you are. It doesn't matter. You can get not drunk at all on red wine, and the next day you feel like shit. Or you can get.
Who's ever drank red wine and not got drunk?
I mean, I've had like 2 glasses.
2 glasses of red wine. Like I feel like wine goes like straight to my fucking head. Like I swear.
Well, that's probably more a tannin sensitivity.
Okay,
so.
maybe it is.
But
I shouldn't have that.
Because ultimately, your body is still only processing the alcohol to the level at which it processes it.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you. Like every time I've ever had red wine, I feel like I'm swimming like 15 minutes later. I'm like,
and that actually might be a tannin sensitivity.
It probably is, and I don't fuck with it anymore.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't mess with it. Like I said, last time I drank it, which was over a decade ago, I got a fucking fever.
Yeah.
Like I remember having the fucking shivers and the sweats and shit, and I was like, I ain't ever drinking that shit again, you know?
So I remember to the point of you are still drunk the next day. I remember at Dragon Con one year. That's
Dragon Con every year.
Yeah, well, but specifically this one time, my bestie, who is oft a viewer of the show, but she was out late, drinking late, like very, very, very late.
Like you're wanting to do.
Right. And came back into the room and went to sleep. And then we got up because Matt and I were going to a panel at like 10 o'clock in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. So we got up early to get ready. And she wakes up and she's like, oh, I feel great. I don't know. I feel fine. I'm not hungover at all. And I'm like, oh, honey, you're still drunk. And so she got up, she got ready.
Did she drink some water?
I don't even know. She got up, she got ready. She was ready to go. We get to the panel that she goes with us to. And but halfway through the panel, she just went, I gotta go. Like that was when it hit her. Like she was, so it wasn't that she slept through it and she was fine. It's that she did not sleep through it and she was still drunk the next morning.
That's what always happens to me. Like I'll wake up on a Saturday and I'll be like, woohoo!
Yeah,
I dodged the whole thing. And then, but I've actually learned now not to even feel that way because because I typically get what I call the late Saturday hangover, which it doesn't hit me until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
And so if I wake up feeling good on Saturday, I start drinking water and taking ibuprofen like it's nobody's business.
Oh God. If I've been drinking, like I will tonight, I will take ibuprofen and drink a lot of water before bed.
Yeah.
And because that's literally the only thing that'll help. Yeah. Or time. Those are the 2 things that help. That's it. That's what you got.
Only time can mend a broken heart.
And a hangover. So, all right. So we talked about all the major, like the main spirits, most spirits. We did not get to liqueurs. And honestly, because I know we have a lot of, like, you wanted to talk about liquors that suck.
The weird things.
Yeah, but I think we should just, in a couple months,
do another show. Yeah.
Just on liqueurs and things like that, because there's so much.
Oh shit, we should see if somebody who's coming down from somewhere can grab a thing or two that isn't available here.
Of a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, we should do that.
I don't know if it's available in Michigan or Minnesota, but
where there are people that
are visiting us, I know it's available in Illinois, and I would like to have a bottle of it.
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
So at the Tiki convention we went to, there was one of the room parties was called
anybody who's from that area will bring a bottle of it.
Yeah, exactly. So they had their theme was Opry Tiki, so it was like Opry Ski, but it was Opry Tiki, right? Yeah. So it was actually really cute, and the drinks were some of the best I had the whole weekend. But they had like a Malort challenge where you could have like not even a shot, just a smidge.
Okay, so she's dropped the name.
I did.
So I'm gonna say any of our friends from the Midwest who are coming down in the next few months,
find Malort.
If you have Malort, if you have access to Malort, please bring us a bottle.
Yeah, we don't really want. We don't pay you for it,
which is the only brand of Malort there is.
Yeah.
Like
no,
they only make it in
Malort.
fucking Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
it's like as far as I'm aware, I know it's available anywhere in Chicagoland. I assume it's maybe it's available in Minnesota or Michigan.
It may be. I mean, if you happen to find, we definitely don't because our
you cannot get it here
because it's the Board of Control.
You can neither get it here nor in South. I've looked at the place in South Carolina too.
But you know where it's from, though.
I do know where it's from.
We hadn't done it. All right.
We'll talk about. We'll regroup on that one. We'll talk about that and some of the other more yucky, liqueurs or aperitifs.
Grossness. Yeah, we'll have a whole show on that
as the year goes on.
Yes.
Because we've run out of time.
Yes, we definitely have. But I feel very good about our liquor drinking tonight.
Well, maybe too soon to tell.
That's true. I don't have any meetings tomorrow. I don't have any.
Well, that's good for you. I don't know that I don't have any meetings. But I have work to do.
If you legit have to crash and then leave at 1:00 in the morning,
I'm sure I'll be fine. I mean, we'll eat and then I'll drink some water and I'll be.
Yes, I'm not drinking anymore after this.
No, this is it.
Straight water.
I'm good.
All right, but
I mean, what I'm drinking now, I'm trying knocking back this melted ice.
The ice, just delicious ice.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I should have brought glasses of water in here, but we can go get water in a second.
That's all I got left.
That's true. All right, so we do have a things that are extra.
Yeah,
today
we do.
Because Sunday was the Superb Owl.
Yes, the Superb Owl, and I hope you all who observe had a good time. My thing is, I noticed this because I don't actually watch the Super Bowl, and I also don't naysay it. Like, if you enjoy it, that's great. Enjoy the thing. Fuck it, whatever. I just, in my house, like I said, it's not a thing we really do. But the next day, I'm always aware because people post people post commercials. But then the other thing people post the day after is the reaction to whatever the halftime show was. And people always lose their goddamn minds over the halftime show. And so I'm like, oh my God. I've read things criticizing, I guess, people were upset with Rihanna's performance. She didn't dance hard enough or some shit. Yeah. The woman's fucking pregnant. She's visibly pregnant.
Yeah. She put on an amazing fucking show. And, it was impressive.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, people. And this happens, I feel like every year, with the exception being the time Prince performed, because who's going to fucking say anything about Prince? Fuck you. If you have something bad to say about Prince, fuck you. You're just a horrible person and you should just go away.
That's fair.
But I don't think you should talk shit about anybody. Are you not entertained? At the end of the day, whatever the fuck.
Are you not entertained? But it's just bread and circuses.
I know, right?
That's it. That's all it is.
These motherfuckers, every year it's some goddamn thing. As soon as the Super Bowl halftime show's over, somebody's on the internet badmouthing it about some fucking thing.
Oh, for sure.
I can't believe Mary J. Blige didn't dance her ass off. She's only 68 years old, or whatever the fuck,
Right? No, absolutely.
I'm sorry. Did she dance in fucking heels? Then shut the fuck up. What are you doing?
Yeah, are you dancing in heels?
You ain't doing it.
You performed
Shut
the
up.
Super Bowl? Yeah,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
absolutely.
Also, were you ever Mary J. Blige? At least, in the worst case scenario, she's a fucking has-been. But at least a has-been was at one point, right?
Right. But also, I don't think she's a has-been.
No, I'm just saying.
She has an acting career. She's doing all kinds of things, right?
No,
you're absolutely fucking right.
So I'm actually at the point of if people keep. If the thing is always going to be the day after the Super Bowl, I'm going to read a bunch of fucking criticisms of the halftime show. Fuck it. Get rid of it. And we'll just watch a half hour of fucking commercials while the team goes and sits down and gets yelled at by the coach or whatever.
And injected with
the new steroids.
With new steroids. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, last night's, so to be fair, I did not, I thought it, but I specifically didn't clock it because the thing about assuming a woman is pregnant applies. Just don't. Just don't. Never do that.
Yeah.
It's oh, okay. And then, but I'm whatever.
Is the pizza burning?
Let's just.
Let's hope it's not.
No, the pizza's burning. I don't know. Is the pizza burning? But so So, but either way, even without knowing that, which we obviously know now, I was like, at the very least, this is like body positivity. It's not, I'm all for like, you know, I also don't mind revealing outfits for the Super Bowl,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
You do you. But I
want
like
to say this
that she didn't.
to speak
like,
about
it's also cool.
Rihanna. Like, so she's got a lingerie brand, Savage X Fenty,
Yeah.
which she hires models of all fucking sizes,
Right,
which I
which I
appreciate the
love.
fuck out of, right? Like, that's
which is
great.
part of the reason I like the body positivity. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Well, she was like, well, I don't know. Maybe she's just
wearing this.
Maybe she's just gained weight. And who gives a
she
shit?
also had a baby 9 months ago.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe she just hadn't lost it.
nobody's gonna look that good after.
But she like her publicist has announced. Yes, she's fucking
she really
pregnant.
is pregnant. So that I that's the weird part is I'm of two minds with this because one, I really like the body positivity. But two, I also really hate when women are defined only by their reproductive values.
Sure. Yeah.
So now the only thing people are talking about is how pregnant she was. And I'm like, what about how good she was?
Right.
What about that she was dancing like a motherfucker and she was lip syncing like a motherfucker? And like, I realized she was not singing. Nobody's singing.
Yeah.
But you
can either dance or you can sing.
Yeah. But she performed a good show. Like the show was great.
Right.
I also liked, here's the other thing I liked about it, no special guests.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's almost always the Super Bowl shows where like it's the main group and then like suddenly it's
like
30 other people.
Hey, please welcome to the stage Mr. Phil Collins.
Which is precisely what happened with fucking Janet Jackson. Because that was the whole thing, right? It was Janet Jackson's halftime show. And then Justin Timberlake, Justin Timberlake's out here. And then he fucked the whole thing up. And now she is like, has had this shitty reputation for the rest of her life for something she didn't do.
Also, who gives a shit about titties?
Right.
Why are we still upset about that? Like, you can turn on HBO any fucking night of the week and watch titties.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who gives a damn?
Yeah, why do we care? So at the same time, I like that Rihanna wasn't like super revealing. The thing is, it isn't. I don't think it's a dichotomy between revealing and not revealing.
Yeah,
I think it's just what you do now. Like the Jennifer, the Shakira and Jennifer Lopez show, right? Okay. A few years ago, that everybody was a same reaction, like you're suggesting.
Yeah.
But people were like,
about that one, but
oh my God, why are they? These are 40-year-old women that are just like in leotards and touching their crotch. And
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, like
fuck it.
40-year-old women doing that, do that.
Yeah,
do that.
Shit.
But also, don't do that if you don't want to do that.
70-year-old women out there do it. I don't give a fuck. Like it's fine with me. Right. Listen, I don't give a. You know, I read a thing the other day. This article that said people don't look as old as they are anymore,
right?
And it's kind of true, actually. I've been thinking about this a lot, you know, and I think people actually do look younger than they used to look, like back in the day. You know,
although we all think that,
I guess we do.
Like I remember being in high school and seeing people my age, and now I remember looking at like current high school students. I'm like, what a fucking baby.
Yeah, oh God, they look like they're 12. Yeah.
Right, but they're 20-year-old people or whatever. And I'm like, oh baby. I think that's all subjective.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But anyway, I'm just saying, I don't give a damn what age you are.
No.
If you want to get out there and strut your stuff, fucking do it. And I don't give a fuck how big or small you are. Do it. Fucking. You know what? I'll say this. I've been saying this for a couple of years. I don't know if I said it to you, but I've been saying it because I've noticed, especially with like Gen Zers, this is the thing I fucking appreciate about Gen Z, is I'll see bigger girls who'll go out and they'll be wearing like a midriff thing, and they don't give a fuck.
Just fucking do it.
And I'm like, you know what? Kudos to them. Because I'll say this: confidence is always sexy. It's always sexy. I don't give a shit what your body looks like. If you're confident enough to pull it off, you look sexy to somebody. Like maybe not to everybody. There'll be some joker out there who will shit talk you. You know what? And that loser, he's just shit talking because he didn't have the courage to come up and ask you out.
Right.
More than likely.
Yeah,
okay?
That's fair.
That's really what it's about.
That's why we have incel culture,
exactly.
which is a whole other things that are extra.
It's them bitching about their own shortcomings.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, whoever you are, go out there and rock it. Fuck it, rock it.
Just do it.
I'm a fan of it.
Do it.
Do whatever. Be you and have
do
a
it
good
on
time.
the Super Bowl. Do it at home. Do
Right.
it because it
And
doesn't
if
matter.
people keep shit talking, well, they can have a half-hour commercials at the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Is what they'll get, you know.
Exactly. All right. I do smell.
Oh,
the
God, we've
pizza
gone
where it may
over-
or may not
yeah.
be burning, but
Hopefully
why
not.
don't you take us away?
Yeah, Bill has opinions. Engineered, produced by Laurel.
I like that.
You like that?
Like, yeah.
And the opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura agreed with him. I don't think we had any disagreements this week at all.
No,
We
actually, I think we surprisingly agreed on.
We agreed on all the things. Anyway, they definitely don't have anything to do with the opinions of Purple Onion, who didn't pay us a fucking dime to get mentioned, or
They don't-
or
I
of
mean,
any
no,
of
they know.
the fine spirit makers who we sampled tonight.
Although
But-
all of them are delicious.
yeah, and if they want to pay us to talk
Yeah,
about them in the
do.
future or provide free liquor, whatever, we'd be happy to. Yeah. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, and be sure to hashtag Opinion Gang if you talk about us, and on any of the formats or whatever. And be sure to, if you want to mention an idea for a future show, you want to clap back about some damn thing we said, whatever.
Please do.
Yeah, feel free. We love engagement with our community. And otherwise, you be sure to turn in next week. Is it next week or are we off
Next week? No, we're
off
here
week.
next week.
We're here next week. Okay.
For a show, we're doing Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
On Monday.
Body shaming Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A little Mardi Gras, a little, but on Monday. So we're doing.
But on Monday, it'll be
Mardi.
yeah.
Oh shit! I should know it.
What?
Monday. Mardi Monday.
Does Marty mean
Mardi means fat.
fat? But Gras doesn't mean Tuesday.
No, you're right. That's right. Mardi means Tuesday. I don't speak French. Mardi means Tuesday.
Je ne sais quoi.
Gras, yeah, exactly. Gras means fat.
A
So
certain je ne sais quoi.
it's whatever Monday plus fat is. So we're doing Fat Monday.
Fat
as it turns
Monday.
out.
On Monday.
But we're going to talk about Fat Tuesday on Monday. So
All right, we'll do all those
we
things.
will. All right.
And you'll meet us here and we'll talk about them.
We will. But yes, this show has been a while. So let's close up.
All right.
We'll see you all in a week. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
See ya.